Welcome, my fabulous lab techs. So today I want to show you how to use the Talusman Rotary Glaze Sieve. So this is how we're going to sieve our glazes. So once you've got the powder in there and you've added the water and you've mixed it with the Jiffy mixer and all that, this is the next step. So you need a clean bucket that's empty. You're going to add the sieve on top, make sure that's clean. And you want to make sure that the actual sieve piece is in here, so the little metal piece that is going to let the glaze through. You want to make sure that you have mixed the glaze and that you've tried to get all the gunk off the bottom, because we're trying to get rid of like this stuff. We're trying to blend it into the water. So when you go to do this, you want to make sure this is stable. You always want to lift with your legs, not with your back. Like you're not trying to swivel at the hips. You're trying to lift with your legs, okay? So you're going to put one hand under the back of the bucket and you're going to be pulling up with this hand. So I'm going to lift up a little bit and then I'm going to use my hand under the bucket to pour some of this glaze in there. Now at first it was really watery. We don't want to overfill. So like I still have glaze in here, but now that this part is full, I can hold it and spin and that'll start to brush the glaze through the sieve. When I've got more room again, I can add more of the glaze. If you've still got a bunch of stuff on the bottom, that stuff needs to get incorporated too. So you want to make sure you use a scraper to scoop all that in there. So just make sure your scraper is clean and you want to scoop all this stuff off the bottom because all of this needs to get sieved through there too. Now, if you've got a little bit left in here and you know your glaze is kind of thick, you could spray a little bit of this to get it soupy and then pour it in there too, which I'm gonna do real quick. And swirl it around in the bottom of the bucket. Now, if your glaze is not a little on the thick side and you don't wanna add any more water, just use a smaller rib to scoop all of it out of there. So it could be like a flexible rubber rib. Now, if I see a bunch of stuff stuck on the sides where the brush doesn't go, I can use my finger to get it, or I could use a rubber rib. So some of it does tend to get stuck up on the side just a little bit, and if that happens, like I said, I'll just use my finger or a rib to kind of go through there. Before I move it to the first bucket, I want to kind of tap it off so that way there's nothing left under here that's going to make it, even more drippy than it already is. So once you've done one time, we still need to get it back into the original bucket, and we also want to sieve it one more time so it kind of works out. So same thing, you're going to hold from the very bottom so you can, this is the actiony hand so you can tip it, but try to bend with your knees, not at the waist. This time it should be way more evenly dispersed. Like it should be kind of the same throughout. There shouldn't be all the big clumps in the bottom. So you can see the bottom of this one is a lot less clumpy because it's already been sieved. So it's a lot more evenly distributed. Now this glaze to me looks like it's got about the right amount of water. So like I said, you can just use a rubber rib to scoop it all out because I don't want to add any more water to this. There's going to be a little bit of glaze that doesn't get fully used in this process, but it's better to have a little bit left over on the sieve and have a fully mixed glaze than it is to have a glaze that is not fully mixed. So once you've got it as much as you can in there, so This part can pull up. That's how you get the sieve out. Kind of check and make sure that you got like all the glaze off the bottom. And then this gets cleaned in the sink. So to get the sieve is actually a separate piece. You can change the sieve. So you can change like how big the holes are in the sieve. So you pull this up and then push it from underneath. So then it's just cleaning, but then that's how you sieve the glazes. All right, thanks, fabulous lab techs. Make good choices.